Alright, so hello everyone, welcome to the Path of Exile video, and this is going to be an update on the Righteous Fire JUGG, as well as sort of an overview of my new character that I've switched into, because, I don't know, I just got tired of the JUGG, and I'm not quite sure why. Maybe it's because I've played Righteous Fire multiple times, maybe it's because the damage isn't amazing on a Righteous Fire JUGG, or what I actually think it is, you can't really craft an awful lot of stuff for a Righteous Fire JUGG. You need very specific items. The chest piece is going to be a Combs Hard, the rings are going to be Combs Way, the boots are going to be Combs Roots, you're most likely going to be running Sappho's Frame, and that doesn't leave an awful lot for crafting your own rares. And even if you can craft something, you want such specific roles that you need to be enjoying that character to be willing to get the currency, spend the currency, and, you know, do the whole meta crafting thing, which is not the easiest thing in the world. So I only got the character to level 91, killed Elder with it once, and that was kind of it for me, because the mediocre damage, the sort of slowish clear speed of the character combined with the crafting, and the fact that I was basically playing Path of farming currency to buy the next unique upgrade, kinda, how to put it, well, bored my tits off, let's just say. So I created a new character, which was a Scion, and I decided to play something that I've never played before and is quite popular at the moment, and that is Elemental Hit. Now, this has very quickly become my favorite character of the league, and maybe even the previous two leagues as well. It's just such a nice character to play, and I can very much see why it's so popular right now. It's tanky as hell, it does a lot of damage, and it's fast. And I'm so glad that I put this character together before it inevitably gets stomped to the ground, because a character that's this tanky, does this much damage, and is this fast, yeah, I don't think it's gonna last that long. Though with that said, some of the stat stick builds like Blade Fury Reeves and that kind of stuff, those are pretty ridiculous as well. I don't know, maybe it's just the salty necromancer that likes Raging Spirits in me that's worried about this, because every single time we manage to make Raging Spirits good, they're like, Chris, have you seen this? They're playing Raging Spirits again. And it's like, not anymore, they're not. Nerf. This character is just a blast, and I've been crafting non-stop. The first thing that I crafted with this character, though not for this character, was this quiver that I just randomly kill spammed with some nice wed and a +1 arrow. But the first thing I crafted for the character was this ridiculous belt with like 150 life, projectile attack damage during flask effect, and then I was able to craft on wed, because I was like, well, you know, I'm gonna need a belt and this and that. I knew I was gonna use the Combs Heart, so I was kind of like putting everything together, and then just this thing happened, which is quite ridiculous. And then I did something that I don't do an awful lot. I literally do this like 2 or 3 times a year, and I tried to craft myself a very specific bow for clear speed. And the goal here was to get +2 level of socketed gems, elemental penetration, and chance to deal double damage, which also comes with attack speed. That would be like the perfect clear speed bow for this kind of character if you don't want to use a Quill Rain, if you want a little bit more damage. Which is exactly what I wanted for deeper delves, because as you keep going down and down, Quill Rain starts to fall off in damage pretty hard. So I spent like 5 exalts trying to alter ego these 3 specific mods, and it didn't happen, so I ended up buying this bow on PoE trade. There unfortunately isn't too many of them, and they're pretty expensive, and I actually metacrafted it. So I tipped a guy 25 chaos to put on cannot roll attack mods from Katarina, and that gave me about a 30% chance to hit +1 level of socketed gems. It's actually not a 100% chance on a Shaper bow. You only have about a 30% chance as opposed to a 100% chance as you have on a normal bow, and I do believe on an Elder bow as well, because there are some Shaper prefixes that aren't considered attack mods. So here's how that went. Yeah, here it goes. No. I knew it! So yeah, that was 5 exalted for the alterations, 1.5 exalted for the bow, another exalted for the cannot roll attack mods craft, then 25 chaos for the tip, a chaos for the slam on the prefix, which rolled the worst thing it could have, and finally I removed the cannot roll attack mod suffix and slammed it again for good measure, which rolled bleeding, which is useless and I can't even do because I'm using Avatar of Fire, so I'm not doing any physical damage. And the worst thing about this is that I could have just bought the bow for 1.5x, craft on wed, which is like 4 alchemies I think, and the bow would have been better than what it is now, which is still good. The bow is still really good for clear. Not just clear actually, it's good for a single target as well. I've been using it to kill Elder before I got my Chinsol with a drill neck that has point blank on it for a single target in my offhand. But the most important thing here is that even though the destination wasn't quite what I was looking for, the journey was a lot of fun, and I might actually do it again because, you know, I set myself a goal, I went for it, and this character is a lot of fun. I can just sit down and play it for a couple of hours, so the currency kind of makes itself, so I might try it again and maybe I'll get lucky this time. But anyway, I think that's enough rambling for today, so I thank you very much for watching. As always guys, if you would like to check this character out more in depth, there is a Path of Building paste bin in the description, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.